life. If you want to be great and if you want to be rich, you have to understand that you can be outside of that life and start creating your own things. And that's where being a business owner comes in, right? When you're creating your own things, right? Right now, somebody says they do hair. Hair is done in a certain way. You can come up with a new way of doing it. You don't have to stick with the way it's been done. In fact, probably when you do it the new way that nobody else has done, that's where you're going to be successful and rich. Get that mentality out of your head that nothing in life can be changed. Because the whole idea is that you can change life. Right? That's what he was basically telling us there. Right? So the next point there, sorry, we're not seeing it right now, is business is a marathon, it's not a sprint. What that means basically is that don't look to get...
Sound.
Oh, they can't hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought they could hear me from here. Should I get back in here? So I'll unmute myself. Alright, so who's ever heard of the phrase Rome wasn't built in a day? So that phrase is basically whenever umuntu azamuyenza something so quickly that success. You know, you went to gym today, but already you're checking your chest to see. It doesn't work that way, you know. The most important things in life are the things that you build over time. Exactly. Tell me, which one would you prefer? You're a millionaire today, but you know it's going to finish at the end of the year. So, as you see here, this thing is called a bamboo tree, a Chinese bamboo tree. I put it there for a reason, and I put it outside in the cover for a reason as well. So, a Chinese bamboo tree is very interesting. It's got a very interesting story behind it. So, first thing is that this tree takes 5 years to grow. Right? It takes 5 years to grow. But in order for you to grow it in this 5 years, it needs to be watered every day. You can't even skip one day, right? But the most interesting thing is that it only comes out of the ground. It only sprouts on year 5. So year 1 to year 4 and 999.9, you're not seeing anything. But from year 5, it starts coming out. And here's what's interesting. Once it's come out, in 5 weeks' time, it's this tall. 27 meters in 5 weeks. Right? So I feel like that's so powerful when I read about that, because usually you start planting something, 3 weeks, you start seeing something. Here, this tree, it grows up in 5 weeks. After that 5 years, it grows this tall. Right? And there's something so powerful about that. There's an important lesson there, because the person who's going out and watering this thing every day, I'm sure about everyone paying down that way. It's been 3 years of watering up the next now. Next year he's busy watering, but you're still and then again he's watering it. But year 5, as he keeps watering it, it comes out. And people are like, wow. And then in 5 weeks, it's already this big. That's a very powerful lesson here. Very, very powerful lesson, because this is how life is, and this is how business is, especially. Because when you're starting a business, your efforts might not be evident. People might not see what you know is. I mara, I talk. Kunini wenza lento yakasiboni ukuthi yini. Kunini ufuna ukubuilda I salon mara siboni. Kunini failure. Ayeka lento yakho. And you know what the most tragic thing is? About most people stop at that point. And if this guy with bamboo tree stopped at year 4, it was going to be like nothing ever happened. But if he had continued, and imagine if he stops on year 4, day 363 or 364. Right? One day, and a lot of people quit right before. And that's what I don't want you guys to do. Right? And that's the moral of the story, because even in your case and in your story, some people are not going to understand. Some people are going to think you're crazy. Some people are going to think you're not going to make money from gaming. You're not going to make money from a song. You're not going to be a successful rapper. There's no such a thing. But you are going to be if you keep on persevering, because this is the lesson of life. And after you've made it through, that's how life is, because now they want to be associated with you because you did what they could never be able to do. And I want you guys to have that and keep that perseverance. So, what is the most important thing during this process of watering land or building your business, it's not so much what you get, but it's who you become. I know being a millionaire, you guys think it means having $1 million or over $1 million. But really, a millionaire or someone who's wealthy, it's a mindset. Being a millionaire, it means you've got the ability to make $1 million. A person, you can take a millionaire's money and rob him of his money. I promise you, before the end of the year, he's going to be a millionaire again. Because he's got the ability, the mindset. And the low mindset is built during these 4 years when you're watering. You feel like you're building a character that other people don't have. You're building a nature. The world not going to think like you because you've gone through this process. And that's the most important thing here. I want to tell one more story. So there was a story of this man. He was, scrawny man, no coordination. So people were bullying him. Right? People were bullying him. So akwati, please help me with these people. I'm being bullied, I can't even fight back, I'm weak, like what am I gonna do? And then Pulungulu, okay, no, it's fine, I've got a solution for you. Go look outside in Riako, you'll find a rock, and that rock is going to help you. So the guy goes out, and there's a huge rock in front of him. And he's like, okay, God, I see the rock, what must I do? God says, push the rock. Like, okay, and push the rock. Tries to push the rock, nothing happens. It's not moving. Push the rock. Tries to push it again. It's not moving. Says, don't come back to me complaining. I said, push the rock. So the guy pushes. Week 1 passes, week 2 passes, month 3 passes, month 4 passes. Says, push the rock. Then he keeps pushing. And you know what happens on day 364? He goes back and he tries to push it. And it doesn't move an inch. Then he goes back to God. Now come on. What's going on here? I asked you, you're not helping me. He says, and God says something powerful. He says, I told you to push the rock. I never told you to move the rock. Go and look in the mirror right now. And when the man went and looked in the mirror, he's got all these muscles now from pushing the rock. And God says to him, do you realize that in the past 6 months, those people were not hurting you, were not bothering you because of the way you look now? I was telling you to push the rock so that you can develop into a person who can defend himself. And that's the moral of the story. When you're going through difficult times, they're not there to pull you down. They're there to build a certain character inside of you so that you can be a special kind of person. Don't be the person who is a sheep in the system of those guys who want us to stay poor. Go through the difficult times and you're going to be the type of person who they can't do anything about. But we try to keep him poor. Let's just invite him. Hey, welcome to the rich club. Because they don't want you in. It's the 1%, right? Where they say, is it 91 or 95? Let me just use 95 just to be safe. Do you know, Guti, 95% of the world's wealth is owned by 5% of the world's population. And the 5% of the world's population, 95%. We're all fighting for the 5%. All 95%. And they're just enjoying the 95%, they just 5%. So they don't want us to get this. So I'm encouraging you guys and say, let's persevere through businesses because they can't touch your business. They can tell you your salary, they can demote you, they can fire you for no reason, but they can't say anything about your business. So that's the power of the process of perseverance when it comes to business. So I'm going to close now. I know it's been a while. So how to develop perseverance. So I've got, you can write these down, especially the topics, the headings. So how to be prepared to persevere. I'm going to go through these and I'm closing. It says, the first one is develop a strong vision or a strong why. In the business spaces, we call it a strong why. So a vision is the reason why you are doing what you are doing. Right? You might be selling vegetables, ekaslako. Why are you doing it? What is your why? Right? That's what I want you to take from it. What is your why? Because if you have a strong enough why, when the difficult times come, your why will help you go through them. Right? So even if you're saying there like, your why is just to make money, no, go deeper. Go deeper to what my sister said over there when she says, I want to have a positive impact in the economy of South Africa. This is my vision and my goal. What my brother said, I want my family to come out of poverty. Because now, when that is your why, that I'm helping my family to come out of poverty, even when the difficult times come, you're like, I'm going to keep on going because I'm thinking about something deep. Yes, I'm going to have millions, but this why is going to help you during these tough times. And one thing you have to do, as point B, you have to review your why regularly. Keep on going back to it. Why right? Go and read it every week, every month. Put a timetable, put a reminder on your phone to say, I'm going to keep on going back to it, and I'm going to make sure I remember to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. Can you please move on? And then C is focus on your strengths. Now, by strengths here, what I mean is, what are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? What do you do with ease compared to other things, right? So if you're a good soccer player, you're a good dancer, you're a good whatever, make sure you focus on that strength, right? And what I mean by that is, if you're a whichever, you dance, you record yourself, you start with TikTok, you get people liking you, and you celebrate those victories. Celebrate the small victories, because life is going to throw challenges against you. But if you start to celebrate the small victories, at least you're not going to feel discouraged. If you feel like, my funding is not coming from my business, you're going to remember, hey, man, I've got 10,000 likes on TikTok, right? So focus on your strengths. Write down, what is it that I'm good at? And start going back and doing those things, especially in business, because it's going to help you so much. And then point D is that have co-founders. Try to start business with someone, right? The most successful businesses were started by friends. HP Computer, Hewlett and Packard. Apple Computers was started by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, right? Mark Zuckerberg, he didn't start it alone. He started with his friend Eduardo, Sovereign, even though he cheated him, but he started. So try to find a co-founder, because what happens is when you're feeling discouraged, at least a co-founder like, man, let's push, let's keep on going. You understand? And you can also celebrate the victories, more victories together. Yeah, Nick, one more. And then be prepared to pivot. I'm not going to go into this a lot, but basically what pivoting means is that if business you start adding an element, or you start changing it a bit. I think Mr. Savanda spoke about, what was it that you were speaking about, that it started as something else, and then they changed it. Twitter. Samsung. Oh, Samsung. Sometimes you have to move with the times. Don't stay stagnant, so that your business keeps on growing. Can we go to the next slide? And then just the conclusion. That first one here is a quote by Steve Jobs. I love Steve Jobs. I feel like he's one of the best CEOs, even though he wasn't a great person, but he was a good CEO. He says, it's the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who usually do. Dare to dream. Why is it that your biggest dream when I'm not saying there's something wrong with it. Even if you're going to use it to get to your dream, tell yourself, I'm going to do this for the next 10 years, then from there, I'm going to own my own thing. Dream big. Dream big, because you've got value inside. And once you dream big and you go for that value, then the riches are going to come. Because you've gone through all the things that have made you a quality person. And when you're a quality person, the wealth is landed. It's going to start following you. So that's basically what I wanted you guys to know, that the business world is going to challenge you, but it's worth it, because it's one of the best ways, not the only way, but it's one of the best ways to get you to a place of wealth, so that you can live your life, support your family, impact the economy, and live a soft life. Thanks, guys.